In today's video, I'm going to be taking this dirty BMW to a nice clean BMW, using as little products as possible and doing the wash as quick as possible. In this video, I'm going to be using three core products. I'm going to be using Bilt Hamber Auto Foam as a pre-wash in the IK sprayer, as I am now. I'm going to be using it as a snow foam, and then I'm going to be using Garage Therapy Decon Shampoo. For the wheels, I'm going to be using the Autoglym Advanced All-Wheel Cleaner. Now, to kick things off, I'm going a little bit differently compared to the normal wash routine that I would go with, where I would normally crack on with the wheels first. But as you can see, I'm doing a bit of a pre-wash on the full car. The main reason for that is that I'm trying to be efficient with my time today, and because the wheels are quite dirty and I'm essentially using a one-step wheel cleaner, I wanted to give the wheels a bit of a pre-wash so that the fallout remover that's in the active wheel cleaner isn't just reacting with all the dirt that's on the wheels. So a good pre-wash of the full car and the wheels at the same time feels like it makes sense to me at the moment. And with the current temperature in the UK, or more specifically Scotland where I live, being under 5 degrees, I'm in no danger of the pre-wash drying out on the car, so I was able to give it a good 5 minutes to really soak in whilst I got everything else ready for the wash, and then I can just go in with the power washer and get everything sprayed off before I can start tackling the wheels. So I did mention I was using the Bilt Hamber Auto Foam at 4% panel impact ratio, so in the 1.5 litre capacity IK sprayer, it's about 60 millilitres in 1500 ml capacity, and it actually works really well as a pre-wash through the sprayer if you don't have the capability to use a foam cannon. As you'll see in this next clip, you can see the hydrophobic properties of the previous protection starting to come back to life. Once I was done with the pre-wash, I did want to get in and around the arches. The front arches not so bad because they're plastic, however the rear carpeted arches hold a lot of grime, so this turbo nozzle is an absolute essential piece of equipment for me. It takes care of all that grime effortlessly without having to get in there with the big EZ brush. Now, as I mentioned, for the wheels I'm going to be using the Autoglym Advanced All-Wheel Cleaner. This is a fallout remover, 2-in-1 does all sort of wheel cleaner. I've been using it for the last few months and I've been getting on really well with it. One thing that I have found quite key with this product is that it's always good to give your wheels a pre-wash, because it means that the product itself actually activates with any kind of brake dust contamination instead of just activating with the dirt. It also works well for cleaning tyres, and just overall I find it's a very decent all-in-one wheel cleaner. It's not too expensive. I bought the 2.5 litre bottle from Amazon. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to pick some up yourself. But for me, I found it works really well. I get a nice clean wheel at the end of the wash, and it actually foams up quite well on agitation. What I also like to do is just throw a little bit of any kind of car shampoo that I'm going to be using on the wash in the wheel wash bucket, just to give a little bit of additional lubrication for cleaning. And again, in the interests of saving time and getting things done as quickly as possible, because I'm not at risk of the product drying out after I've washed the wheel, I've actually went down and round and I've done all 4 wheels at the one time. I've basically went round, I've loaded them up with the product, I've went and done one wheel at a time. Just doing that allows the product plenty of time to activate and start that reaction with any of the embedded brake dust in the other wheels, as you're just about to see in a moment. Again, as I mentioned previously, I went round and done all 4 wheels at the same time, didn't even bother rinsing them off in between wheels, just let the product go to work for a little bit longer before coming back in and power washing each wheel. As I mentioned, this isn't the usual way that I like to work when I'm washing a car, but in the nature of speed and efficiency, I got this wash done really quickly and the process worked really well for me. You can see there the wheels came out nice and clean. However, just the spray pre-wash alone didn't quite do as much as I was hoping for, so we're going to go back in again with the snow foam pre-wash. You can see that I'm using the new MJJC foam cannon here. I've got it dialed in at 4% PIR, There's plenty of videos out there on YouTube, some from GM Detailing, some from Sparkling Autos, that have got fantastic ways to show you how to calculate the panel impact ratio, so I'm not going to go through it too much. But yeah, with 4% through the new MJJ Sealants, didn't find that it was coming out overly thick. Auto foam is notoriously quite a runny snow foam, so you're only looking at 3 to 5 minutes worth of working time, especially in these nice cooler temperatures. You're certainly going to get that with no risk of it drying out in the sunshine. Now I know there'll be some people typing frantically in the comments right now, why are you not using touchless, why are you using autofoam? And to be quite frank, I just like using autofoam. I generally get very good results on it. So I've never really felt that urge to go and try the touchless and move on to it from autofoam. Just curious out there, is there anybody else that is of the same opinion, that they get better results from autofoam, or they get good results from autofoam and they don't really see the need or want to upgrade to the touchless? Let me know in the comments. With the pre-wash all done now, and seeing that level of hydrophobic properties coming back to the paintwork, I'm quite happy to go in with the contact wash. And you'll see here that I'm using the first of the new products that I'm going to talk about in the video. I'm using the Purefibre wash mitt. Now you may have seen me talk about this company in recent videos, and the ethos is made by detailers for detailers, and the price really reflects that. For example, this wash mitt, wash pad, whatever you want to call it, is £9.99, one of the cheapest on the market, and the quality is extremely comparable, if not better, than other brands that are out there. Some charging £17.99, some charging £13 for a similar product. But anyway, back to the wash. Now I'm using the 2 bucket wash method. I'm also using the multi-mitt method here. First wash mitt I went down to the swedge line, then second wash mitt I'm taking down to the very bottom of the sill there, because that tends to be the dirtiest part of the car, and normally I miss that with the pre-wash, so I don't want to load up my good wash mitt with lots of dirt. I can leave that for the second wash mitt. It's not the greatest of quality, and that was a wee AliExpress number, but it still does a decent enough job. Once we've done that, we can just get the car all rinsed off and ready to get the last stage protection on. Again, in order of speed and efficiency, I'm using a snow foam sealant. This is the Autoglym Polar Seal that I got out of the Autoglym Polar kit. Very decent product, about 400ml of water in the lance and 2 capfuls of the product. Spray over the car, try to avoid the windshield if you can, as per the recommendations. Let it sit on the car for a few minutes before rinsing it off to leave you with a nice hydrophobic finish that should last a good few weeks, or until you get the chance to wash the car again. You can see the hydrophobic properties of the water just starting to repel off the panel there. This is just going to help stop water and dirt from sticking to the car and the panels, especially in this period where the gritters are going to start being out salting the roads. That's all the sort of stuff that you want to keep off your panels. Now that the car's all clean and protected, the last thing that we're going to have to do is get the car dried, and this is where we go to new product number 2 of the day, which is the Purefibre drying tool. With the temperature set to get quite low tonight, I know it could potentially freeze up. I don't want to be leaving any beads of water on the car to frost over, so I'm going to get the car as smooth as possible. And the 1400 GSM drying tool from Purefibre does an absolutely fantastic job of mopping up all that water. If you are interested in checking out any of these Purefibre products, I will leave a link in the description below to the website to where you can get them from. This one for a drying tool, 1400 GSM, is only £10.99. I don't think anybody in the market's beating that sort of price. So, as always, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please do leave a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, think about subscribing to the channel. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.